trusty tuner. Let's see if check that out real quick. All right. So now today I'm going to keep continuing on this. I'm doing it kind of slow here, I know, but I feel like I'm figuring it out. I'm going to get I'm going to get more efficient at it to go through each of these nodal points, and we're working on the third. And I went back from like Mixolydian. I went back from like I was over here on the. Where was I? I was here. Yeah, I went back to the third, and then the Dorian, and so now maybe we'll go up from to the Aeolian from this node. So I'll continue with that after the joke jump, and then I'll go over. So let's go over and just noodle around. I'm gonna keep on. So maybe I'll try to noodle between different nodes, since that's what I'm practicing. So I'm in practice around this G node. So I'll put the collection of notes around here, which is the G minor. So if that node was, if the G was a minor, but then I need to get a cajon seat. I need an official cajon seat because I'm using a towel. It's not quite good enough. But if I use a big pillow, it hangs over the back of the cajon, and I like to hit every side of the cajon, so I can't be having no towel hanging over potential real estate for smacking the cajon. Okay. Anyway, so this is, so I'm thinking I'll go back and forth between this being the Aeolian G and it being the Mixolydian G, and then maybe I'll try to sneak in there like, I don't know, a Dorian G or something like that, which I won't change the collection of notes. I'll just kind of, maybe that's just what I'll have in my head as I warm up, get the blood going so I can get this shirt off so it doesn't hamper my abilities. Got my slippers on. Once I'm warmed up, once the coffee's in the veins, I can take the slippers off and have full freedom of movement. All right. So this is minor. And this is Mixolydian. What if I don't go to minor, but I go to Dorian? Or let's go to Phrygian. Phrygian, bottom of the box. So that would be. To Mixolydian. And then maybe to Aeolian, I guess. major. So let's go to G major. G Mixolydian. let's try the joke. Still not sure that was a long enough warm up. I still have my slippers on, but that's okay. We'll move forward. Move forward. I'm always moving forward, but I never know if I'm pointed in the right direction. That's the problem. I don't know if. Okay. Let's see. What does forward even mean, man? What does forward even freaking mean? Okay. Whatever. I'm still on this Supreme Court case. So we got a Supreme Court case with this transgender thing and this other case where they're trying to, like, I think it's about the pharmaceutical drugs, where you just keep on having these crazy people as if they haven't been around for like the last 10 years, you know, and they're like, I can't believe you're asking me I mean, it's like at least think about it. Didn't you, like, it's like they did no prep work. They went up there and they thought the best thing they could do to win their case is to sit there and like act like, you know, they don't know what they're talking, like as though they don't know what the other person's talking about, when they're just like asking normal questions. I mean, it's just, that doesn't seem like a winning strategy. I don't know who is advising these people, but I don't know. Anyways, I'm still ranting on it. This one's not as, we'll see. So the plaintiffs, so on the Supreme Court one, I think it's like the craziest scenario where you've got the men that are claiming to be women so that they can compete in the women's sports, which seems like a slam dunk case. That's the most obvious case where, like, okay, that totally doesn't work, right? So it seems like I don't think they have a chance at all to win on that. So it's almost like a spectacle at this point. It seems to me. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But I mean, if you can't even take steroids, you would think, you know, having testosterone pumping testicles would be a problem. That's just, I don't know. Barry Bonds was getting in trouble for no reason, apparently, compared to today's standards. Anyway, the plaintiffs in the Supreme Court case arguing a man can be a woman keep saying the logic is clean as a whistle. The logic here is clean as a whistle. Their whole case hangs on it. Clean as a whistle, Your Honor. Crystal clear, simple. So I'm like, cool, show me the whistle. Let's see the whistle defense. And they're like, behold. And they hold up this thing, this whistle that is half buried in mud, like a lost bar fight with a swamp. This whistle that looks like it just crawled out of the bayou asking for spare change. I'm staring at it like, that's your whistle? That's the thing that's supposed to be clean? You know? They blow into it, and instead of a whistle, it just goes blur. And it's like blowing a gopher trying to do a beatbox, and the plaintiffs don't even flinch. They don't even flinch. They're smiling proudly, like, see, I told you, it's the cleanest whistle you ever seen. Argument is clean as a whistle, clean as a dude. The whistle has tetanus. The whistle needs therapy. That whistle has seen Vietnam, for crying out loud. It's not clean. It is not. It is not whistling. It is gargling for its life. It sounds like a bathtub drain going through a breakup. But the plaintiffs are still standing there like, Your Honor, if this whistle wants to identify as clean, then it is clean, and you must accept the whistle's truth. Meanwhile, the whistle is literally coughing up mud clumps like it just tried to swallow a garden, for crying out loud. I'm like, dude, at this point, the gargle is cleaner than the argument. But whatever. They insist the whistle is not a whistle anymore. The whistle is not a whistle. No. According to them, this muddy, gargling dirt tube is actually a clamshell. The whistle is a clamshell, okay? They say it with a straight face, even. They say it's amazing to me. It's amazing to me. They could just say it up there with a straight face. They don't even crack a smile or anything. It's like, I don't know how they train for this, right? Okay, so the clamshell, Your Honor, it's a female clamshell. Always has been. It's not a whistle. And I'm like, dude, let's be honest. The whistle has big dude energy. You're holding up the most masculine safety device ever made and calling it a clamshell, for crying out loud. They're shaking their heads, correcting me. No. That is a clam presenting whistle, assigned whistle at birth, but retroactively validated as a clamshell. And then they blow into it again, and it's still going blarg, like it's begging for a lifeguard. But the plaintiffs are clapping like it just hit the Colin Dion's high note. That's the sound of a clamshell living its truth, man. That's the sound of a clamshell. Because if you point at the muddy whistle and call it a clamshell, the only thing clean in the courtroom is the delusion, okay? I don't know. I think my analogy went a little weird on that one. I feel like I could have, whatever. I'm going to just play the song. Let's see what the song sounds like. Clean as a whistle. Whoops, I dropped my whistle and it's clean as a, oh no, I dropped my whistle in the mud.
The plaintiffs in the courtroom say their logic's clean as a whistle. Crystal clear, Your Honor, simple. So I stand up like cool, alright, I'm not hostile. If it's clean as a whistle, then show me the whistle. And they go, behold, like they're summoning a relic from the mud and the mold. But they hold up this thing half buried in a swamp, a whistle that looks like it crawled out to chomp. I'm staring like that's a clean whistle. You mean, bro, that whistle needs therapy, vaccines, and a priest. It gurgles, not whistles, it's fighting for its life. Sounds like a bathtub drain crying through the night. They blow into the thing, no denial, like a drowning gopher trying beatbox survivable. But the plaintiffs just grin with their courtroom cheers. See, told you the whistle is clear. Clean as a whistle, man, that thing has tetanus in every bristle. It's coughing up mud like it swallowed a garden. I'm like, Your Honor, this argument's softening, cause if this is clean, then sure, why not? Reality's optional, logic forgot. They point at the whistle like it's holy shellfish. Your Honor, it's a clamshell, feminine and delish. They say it's straight-faced. A female clamshell, Your Honor, always was, always is. Meanwhile, I'm looking at the thing like, guys, that whistle's got big dude energy. Most masculine safety device I've ever seen. And they correct me with anime conviction. No, that is a clam presenting whistle, assigned whistle at birth, retroactively validated as a clamshell edition. Then they blow it again. Like it's begging for a lifeguard to throw in a float. But the plaintiffs clap like it hit a diva's nose. That's the sound of a clamshell living its truth, they quote. And I'm standing there thinking, man, if this is the plan, then yeah, I guess a woman can also be a man. Cause if you point at a muddy whistle and call it a shell, the only thing clean in that courtroom is the delusion they sell.
Clean as a whistle. All right. The most famous one in there was the last one. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. Get back on topic. Back on topic. I'm getting off topic. What do you know? All you do is You're just a guitar tutor. That's right. But I know stuff. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to this grid. Alright. Time to take the slippers off. Okay. So I'm on Mixolydian. We were doing the third over here. So let's go. So now I'm going to go from this collection of notes to we did the Dorian last time. So let's go up to the Aeolian. So I'm in the collection of notes. I'm starting in the key of C. So position number 1 is pinky on fret 8, first string down from the ceiling, backing back to fret 5, first string down from the ceiling. So Aeolian to Aeolian would be here. You call it Aeolian position or the Ionian G shape. Okay, so now I'm looking at nodal point 5 for Mixolydian. That's my tonic. So now I want to say that I've looked at the third. I'm defining my chord construction by where the third is in the 4 quadrants. So I'm leaning back, so I call that a reach back. So it's behind it, up. The third is going to be up there. So second modal whole step, third scale degree is back here. Okay, so then now, that's my starting point. That's where we were. Third is way back here. Okay, so now I want to change this nodal point 5 to nodal point 6, the Aeolian. So I think I'm starting to think the most efficient way to do that is try to visualize where Aeolian is in this shape. So I could see an Aeolian right above it. Now the more I think about this, you might first think, like, where's the Aeolian on the top 2 strings, particularly on the top string, right? So I might do something like, well, if this is nodal point 5, the Aeolian is 1 modal whole step up. So it's going to be right here. There's the Aeolian in this shape, right? And then I might say, well, where is it on the top string? Because I might know my caged shapes and whatnot by the top string, because those are my. So then I'm going to say, well, where's the related on the top string? It's going to be this shape. So if I'm here, in other words, where's the octave on the top string? It's up here, because I have that skip 1 over 1 is the octave shape, meaning it's 12 notes between them, 5, 10, 11, 12, or negative 5, 10, 11, 12, right? So if I'm on this A up top, like I want it would be like, if I could visualize that would be like my position number 1, or my G shape position, or the Aeolian shape up top, going from A to A. And if I just pull that down to here, if I just envision that the whole shape behind the guitar moves down to here, then this would be like its shape number 1. Although it gets messed up by the shift, right? So then it gets shifted up here once it crosses the fault line. But that can at least help me to kind of identify at first where it is. And then I could say, okay, well, if that happens, then that means that if I move this down here, then this rectangle is going to go right here. Where's the rectangle? It's in the middle now. So if I'm looking at this shape, and that's my tonic, and the rectangle is in front of it, then that's going to be shape number 2, I believe, right? That's going to be shape number 2, right? But I could do the same thing, like, okay, where's the other octave? I have another 6 here. That one's actually harder to see because it's in open position. So I might say, well, yeah, it's my A minor shape, and maybe that's people have learned their cage system good enough to say, well, now my A minor shape is going to move up here. Man, my seat is just. I need a cajon cushion. I'm going to Amazon soon as this is over. I've suffered long enough. My suffering must end. This is an uncomfortable. I'm gonna. Anyway, maybe I'll just. So you could move this up, and then the suffering at my end is gonna end. We're gonna get. I'm gonna get a cajon cushion. Okay. So if we could move that. If I had this one, then of course this one could be moved straight back. So if I can visualize that shape, there it is. I'm gonna say, okay, well if that was the Aeolian, then above it now it if that one's kind of easy because I could say, well if that's the Aeolian right there, that would mean that like this shape that I'm in, position 1 leaning forward. Now position 1 would be the lean back position, right? And then I could do it with any of these shapes. Here's one down here, harder to do. For most people, I think from the bottom. But I could imagine, the square is above it. So if I pulled the back of the shape here till that was here, and then up 1, that once again will mean that the square will be right above it. And I could do the same from here and here, right? So let's actually look at that in the full shape, within the context of the full shape. Okay, so let's see if I can do this without losing my mind this time. It's easier if you don't have as many marbles, because then you can keep an eye on them and not lose as many while you're doing stuff. I have an advantage. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, okay, so if I'm trying to make this, so now I'm gonna say position 0, E is Phrygian, nodal point 3, A is Aeolian, nodal point 6, D is Dorian, nodal point 2, G is nodal point 5, Mixolydian, and then it shifts this way, which I'm representing by the shape. So fret 0 shifts back because it's like it's dipping in the water, so there's no illusion. And then it goes to nodal point 7, which is a B, and then the E is nodal point 3, which is Mixolydian. So then I want to shift it. If I know that Aeolian, that's position number 1. I can see position number 1 right here. So then I could just say, okay, what if I just like moved this down? So wait, no, I need, wait a sec, not like that. I want to move the back of the shape down. I move the back of the shape down, boom. So now that relative to this yellow, so relative to the red, I still have 6, right? So it's 0 fret 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 3 frets down is the G, which is Mixolydian. But now relative to this one, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 frets down is Aeolian. So because now I've changed the collection of notes that I'm in, what is the collection of notes? Because now the second string down, A, is nodal point 7, so it's A sharp. So I'm in the collection of notes related to the major Ionian of A sharp. So relative to A sharp, that same node is the Aeolian node, and now I can see it like right above it. I have the box shape right above it, so that means that it's on what we would expect. It's on like the right hand side of shape number 1, right? It's on the right hand side of shape number 1, and then if I lean forward, I'm leaning into shape number 2, whereas the Mixolydian down here was on the left hand side of shape number 1, right? In this, right? And then okay, so then I could do that to, wait a sec. So then I can do that to any of them. Like if I knew this Aeolian, that Aeolian is like position 1 right there. So I could say, okay, I can pull this to the right and then down, and I get the same idea. So once again, it's a different look on this whole large shape, but because I'm not thinking about octaves, it's all just pitch without octaves, and it's all the same shape. then in the red, you still get 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th fret, 3rd string down here. And with the yellow, you get 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th fret, 3rd string down is the Aeolian. And once again, the Aeolian is now on the back of shape number 1 relative to the orange. And we're still in A sharp because the Ionian's right there. So that's 1 up from the A string. So that would be A sharp, right? And then I could do it like this way, and I could say, okay, where's the other A? There's one right in front of it. So I could shift it right back so I can see that on this A, the box is above it. So that's one way I might see it. I'm like, oh, if I shift it back this way, then once again, relative to the red, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 strings down from the ceiling, versus the yellow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 strings down from the ceiling. You get to the same relative shape because we're on Ionian A sharp relative to the yellow. And so that means this Aeolian once again is on the front side like of shape number 1 now. But we're in the collection of notes of A sharp. And then I could do the same thing for this A down here. So this one down here, again, I have the box above it and the box to the right of it. On the guitar, the box looks shifted because this box, if I shift this shape up, this box would be split, right? This shift would be to the right. But I'm representing that by shifting the shape, like the fretboard shape, instead of the actual shape. So the actual shape is uniform. The fretboard is the thing that's warped, right? And so if I pull this up, oh, now it won't let me go up again. Because I messed up. Oh man. Hold on. So if I was like here and then I pulled the shape up and over, you get the same thing. So now I'm in relative position to the yellow of, once again, the forward of shape number 1, right? I'm still on the front part of shape number 1, and shape number 1 relative to the yellow is A sharp, okay? And then if I did the same thing here, now I'm under the warp. So if this was, again, this whole thing would be to the right on the fretboard, but it's represented by the warp as though it's dipped in water. The bottom of the fretboard's like in water. So that would mean that you'd have to shift it back when you pull it up. But right here, it's already reflected by the shape of the so that means if I pull it up this way, boom, and then like that, boom, same thing. So relative to the yellow, I'm at shape number 1, all right? And then finally, if I did it down here, this one, again, it would be right under A, that A right there, 6 would be 6 right here, but it got pushed back. But because it's represented by the 0 being back here on the fret, so if I pulled it up, boom, there, boom. As I pull up out of the ocean, out of the water, the shape is automatically taking care of itself with that kink right there. Okay, I feel like that makes perfect sense. I think my head is less. I'm holding on to a few more of the few marbles that I have. As I thought about that, I feel like less marbles have been lost than yesterday. Okay, so that means I have to shift this. So if I make that Aeolian, if I make this Aeolian, then what is the collection of notes from the perspective of the major? Well, one way I can do it is say, well, if that's Aeolian, if this is Aeolian, where's the major relative to it? It's up here. It's the Ionians up here. So that's a C. So that means if this is Aeolian, then the relative major has got to be here, right? Which would be A sharp. So that means from a numbering standpoint, if I number from 1 to 12, that would be note number 2. So I'm just going to go over to note number 2 and see if that is what happens. Okay. All right. So now this nodal point is node number 6. So where am I in the shape now? Well, where's the Ionian? Here it is on the top string. So the Ionian on the top string is here, and that would be meaning this A sharp is the Ionian. So if that's the Ionian, I can put my pinky on it and go back. So shape number 1 would be right here from the top string. So you might call that the Aeolian shape, shape number 1, or the Ionian G shape, and so that makes sense. And then leaning forward, then in this shape, we have what would be shape number 2, or you might call it the Locrian shape, possibly, or you possibly call it the Ionian E shape. So that means anytime the third string down from the ceiling is my tonic, and is my tonic and it's an Aeolian, that means I'm playing in between shapes 1 and 2. Yeah, in between shapes 1 and 2. Okay. All right. So then I'm looking at the third relative to the Aeolian. So where is the third? The third minus 1 is 2 modal half steps up. So if I'm on nodal point 6, it would be 6, 7, and then 1, meaning I'm off by 1 over here because this is where the relative position is now in the ocean, because last time I was on a major third, now I'm on a minor third. So it would be back here. So that would be the minor third. So that would mean that nodal point 1, Ionian is always then the second modal whole step, the first modal whole step times 2, second modal half step plus 1, third scale degree away from the Aeolian. And because we're going from a minor node, it has a distance of 3 notes away instead of 4 notes away. But I'm not going clockwise, I'm going counterclockwise. Therefore, counterclockwise distance would be 12 minus 3, or 9. In other words, I can count it out by saying there's 5 notes between the string, -5, -6, 7, 8, 9. All right. Now, so that means that when I'm leaning back to this quadrant, the major third's not that bad, but the minor third's kind of a reach. I have to go back another one. Movie B to the N. Let's go back to, so now I want to bring it back to Mixolydian. So if I bring it back to Mixolydian, and this is now the Aeolian, I'm like in the Aeolian leaning back into shape number 1. bring it back to Mixolydian. So then of course I have the Mixolydian right behind it, because now where is the Mixolydian related to the Aeolian? It's one modal half step back. So let's do it the same way. I would most likely be like, okay, it's one modal half step back. So it would be the same shape as though I shifted this whole shape up to here, but maybe I know it better if I can find it on the top string. So I'm like, okay, there's the Mixolydian here. Where's the Mixolydian on the top string? I can go, where's the tonic? The tonic is going to be, so the tonic is back here on the top string because of this shape. Doot, doot. So now I'm going to say, okay, so now if the Mixolydian on the top, this is the Mixolydian shape on the top string here, which is a little hard to play in open position. You might move it up to the 13th fret, but you can see the shape here. It just feels different in open position. So I'm like, okay, that's shape number 5, right? So if I moved this shape down to here, moved it boom, boom, then this node will be back to the 5, and I can kind of think of it as though it was the top shape on the top of this, position number 5 shape, right? Position number 5 shape, which is a Ionian A shape, right? It's an Ionian A shape. So I can kind of think of it like as though this was on the top string of the guitar until I hit the kink in the tuning, right? So then it has to shift up because of the kink in the tuning. And then I can think about, okay, well that means that where's the box relative to this? The box is going to be right below it here, and it's going to be shifted because of the fault line. So anytime the box is below it, and I'm leaning into the shape. So anytime the box is on strings 3 and 4 down from the ceiling, and it's on the left side of the shape, and I'm leaning away from the box, that will be shape number 1, right? And I can also see it, and I could see it here. Like if I could see this Mixolydian, I could say, where's that Mixolydian? Well, it's on if the box is to the left-hand side, so the Mixolydian's to the left of the Mixolydian, it's on the ground floor of the box, and to the right of the Mixolydian, it's below the basement of the box, is right above it right here, because it shifts. Here's the box right here. Here's the bottom half of it. So I could see it that way. So if I saw that shape, I can move this shape down. I can also see it as, well, this is shape number 3, right? So because the box is in the middle. So that would be, again, that would be equivalent if I pull this over here as though I was playing in shape number 3, right? But then it's going to get shifted up because of the kink in the tuning. So it'd be like I'm on the 2nd string of shape number 3 once I shift this over here until I hit the kink in the tuning, right? So it's going to be, that shape, and then here, and then kink in the tuning shifts it. All right, and so then I could say I have a Mixolydian here. So that's that. Then I can see the box is right below it on that one, but the box usually would be shifted to the right because now the box. The box would usually be shifted to the left because the fault line's right below it. So it looks like it's on the left-hand side above the box, above the ceiling, but it normally, as you can see up here, would be on the right-hand side because this tectonic plate shifted to the right. It's dipped in the water. So you can see it. So I can pull that up that way. So and so on. Okay, let me visualize that this way with my other thing, with the large shape. Okay. So now I'm moving back. Well, I can't really, because I have this this shape is like locked into the Mixolydian. That doesn't, let's just keep it, let's just move on to the next one. Move on to the next one. Nothing to see here. So let's go back. So I'm just going to make this back to the normal 4 Mixolydian or collection of notes around the key of C. Back to the collection of notes around the key of C. Okay, so now I'm back to the collection of notes around the key of C. The third now isn't out there. The relative third is 3 notes away, which is here. Okay, so now let's say we go up to the Locrian. We go to crazy Locrian. I want to play in the Locrian mode, man. I'm currently in Mixolydian, but I want to go Locrian. Locrian goes flat 5. Nobody goes flat 5. You went flat 5. All right, so if we go Locrian, and I want to, so now I'm back to this is the collection of notes, position 1, and I'm on nodal point 5 Mixolydian. Okay, so I want to go Locrian. So where is the Locrian? Compared to the 5, 5, 6, 7, it's 2 modal half steps up or +1, the third away, which I know I've just been looking at it. It's right here. So nodal point 7, that's the Locrian. The Locrian is always the second modal half step, third scale degree of the Mixolydian, man. And so I could then find it, but I want to find it on the top string. So where's the octave from here on the top string? It's going to be 7 frets up because there's 5 notes between the strings. 5, -5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Because, right, I think, you know, because we're going this 12 note distance. All right, so that means it's on nodal point 7. It's a B, right there. Okay, so if I see it right there, I could say, well, what is that shape? I might call this the Locrian shape looking forward, but most people probably name it by the Ionian, which is Ionian E shape, which I would call shape number 2. So I'm going to say, okay, Locrian's the start of shape number 2, going Locrian to Locrian. What if I just pulled that Locrian shape from here to here? What if I pulled this top of that bit right there and I just played down shape number 2, but I played it like right from this node? Then it would be the same box, back of the box shape. It's in the attic. Ionian stuffed Locrian in the attic and never talks to it and then talks crap about it and while he's having parties in the main room. But as he has his ocean view in there, and poor Locrian's in the attic. So we're gonna say this is gonna go, and then it would shift up. Then it has to shift up. So Locrian's here. Locrian would be here. Box shape, minor second, and then it would shift up here. So it'd have to shift up. So I could see it kind of like that. I could say, okay, well, I could see the Locrian back here. So then where's this on the second string down? Well, it's on the second string of shape number 5, right? Shape number 5, which you might call the Ionian A shape. So similarly, I could say, well, it's at the back of the box of the Ionian of the Mixolydian shape, the Ionian A shape. So if I played that shape from Locrian here, right? So then what if I move that shape down to here from the Locrian bit? That would be like as though I'm playing second string down from Locrian, right? So it'd be same, which results in the same thing until I shift because of the kink in the tuning. Okay, and then I can start to see above it well, there's a string above it. If I start on the top string, I can't really see what's above it. Well, now I can see what's above it because above it is shaped is this shape, right? And if I was over here, I can kind of see above it because that's the equivalent of the bottom string, and you can see right above it, you get the same relative position, same relative shape here as here, right? It repeats going up until it hits the kink in the tuning. All right. And then if I see it down, if I saw it like down here, the red one, if I see it on this one, so now it's in the middle. So now, like, it's in the middle of what I would call shape number 3, or the Ionian D shape, right? So then I can say, okay, if I pulled, so I can also think of this note, if I pulled it over, as like the 3rd string down in the Ionian D shape position, you know? It'd be like I was playing, it'd be like that was like the 3rd string down, which this would be the most direct way to see it, right? Because then I can say, well, then it, like that whole shape moved directly back, so this is going to be shape number 3, right? So I can be like, well, it's going to be shape number 3. I played that horribly. And then I can start to see above it. Above it, I have shape number 3. Shape number 3. But I have to stop on the Locrian. I have to make the Locrian the tonic. That's the hard thing. Does it resolve, man? I got... That's as resolvey as it gets. It's like trying to work with a crazy... in a crazy company or crazy... It never resolves. The thing never what? It's just drama after drama. It's like you're in a reality TV show. You're in leftist news coverage. Nothing ever resolves. Wait a second. Anyway, okay. So I could do the same thing down here. Let's go to the other, to my other shape and check it out this way. All right. So now I'm in the collection of notes around the key of C. This is 5th fret, 3rd string down. There's my G. I'm in Mixolydian. Just chilling, Mixolydian. And then I want to go to Locrian for some odd reason. So I could say, well, Locrian's up here on the top string, meaning it's in shape number 2 if I lean forward. So the box is right there. So I can imagine if I pulled the back of this shape down, and I'm like, okay, that would be as though this was like the top string of shape number 2. So I just pull this down and then over. So now it's like, oh, Locrian's like, it's the top shape, the top part of shape number 2, except I'm not hanging on the Ionian. I'm hanging on Locrian. And then it gets distorted because of the kink in the tuning here, where you'd think you'd go straight down, but no, because the fretboard gets messed up. So you have to actually shift it to the right. This is shifted to the left to show that you need to finger to the right. Anyway. Wait, that's the wrong spot. No, that's... going. Let's put it back. Put it back. Put it back the way you had it. Okay. So then what if on this one, there's the Locrian over here. That's like on the second string of shape number 5, shape number shape number 5. Which is Mixolydian shape or Ionian A shape. So that would be like I'm playing like the second string of the Ionian, as though I'm playing the second string of the Ionian A shape if I just pull this box like down and then over here, dude. Then it's like relative, what collection of notes am I in? Well, if that's the G, then the A, then the Ion. If the G is the Locrian, then the Ionian is one modal half step, which is only a half step away in notes half steps because it's Locrian, which has a minor second, and so that means that it's going to be G sharp is the collection of notes that I'm in, dude. So it's like, oh, all right. That's like I was playing the second, as though it was like the second string from the top, position number 5 Mixolydian, and then I can look above it, and that would mean that, well, that would mean that above it, I would have like these 2 strings. Dude, what if I did it on the same string? That should be the easiest shift because it was like 5, 6, 7. That means it's 2 modal half steps or 3/3 scale degree away from the Ionian. If I just shift this back, this is like in the middle. If I lean forward of shape number 3 or the Ionian D shape, dude. Let's just pull that back, and that means that this is like totally just shape number 3 relative to the yellow, because this is going to be 0, 1, 2, so it's still a G, but now it's like relative to the yellow, it's like it's in shape number 3 Ionian D, or you might call it a Dorian from the top shape. Now I have the whole shape. Still hard to see. Because you bounce back to the C shape, or at least I do. I think I messed up a few times. I don't play Locrian that much. I don't think, or G Locrian at least. I don't know. Okay, let's move it back. Let's move it back. All right. And then it's like, well, there's also a Locrian to the right to the back of it because it's the third. So that means that that Locrian is currently in like the bottom part of shape number 1 leaning forward. So it's like the 1, 2, 3, 4th string down from the ceiling, shape number 1. So I can pull that one up here. Okay, let's just go ahead and do it on the other one now. That's enough of that. That's enough of that. Let's go back over here and say, so now I'm just going to shift this to G, collection of notes around G sharp major, which is, if I number the notes 1 through 12, would be 12. Okay. Makes perfect sense. So there we have it. So now I can see that the box is right in the middle, strings 3 and 4 down from the ceiling, and if I lean forward from that shape, I'm in shape number 3, which you might call an Ionian D shape or the Dorian shape if you're starting from the top, just like I said. And the third is off because when you go from the Locrian, the third is going to be a minor third, which is 3 notes back instead of 4. So you have, where's the third from the Locrian? 3 minus 1 is 2 modal half steps up, so it'll be 7, 1, 2. So it's Dorian, which would be back here. Dorian. Where's the third? What's the third of the Mixolydian? Well, Dorian is the third. Okay. That's the third. All right. So none of the open strings really work with that one. All right, let me just noodle around for a little while. I think I'm tired. Anyways. Back to Mixolydian. to G major. G minor. G mixolydian. G Locrian. in.